What doesn't sadden me is my receding hairline. And as Robert would say, well, Nick, you're actually balding more than you're receding at this point. Sometimes I like to style my hair in a way that is not so flattering for my hairline. I just kind of do what I feel like doing, and this is what I felt like doing. I'm not saddened by my hairline, I'm saddened by Tom Petty's passing. That emotionally affects me. I'm allowing Tom Petty to have power over my emotions, even though it's always your decision who you let affect your emotions. But Tom Petty passing away, I'm going to admit that affects my emotions. So, but what better way to distract ourselves from these emotions than to check out an email we got from our new friend Kusei. Whereas most people leave comments and those turn into videos, with Kusei it's different. He sends me emails. And I remember that one day with the yellow shirt, and I did like my three videos that day were his three ideas from an email. Well, he sent me a picture. Pretty much we're looking at a Norwood 1.5 at the very worst for him. Age 24, no thinning. Better off than I was at age 24. I was definitely, absolutely Norwood 2 by the time I was 24. But here's what he's asking me. He's saying this, quote, I wanted your take on the best strategy I can follow to have and keep a Norwood 1 into the next 10, 20, 30 years. Of course, 30 years for him would be age 54. I don't mind it being at the buzz cut length between a number 4 and a number 1, but I don't want to use finasteride or minoxidil due to their side effects. I was thinking a hair transplant or maybe scalp micropigmentation. Also, I'm not in a hurry. I was thinking over the next 5 to 10 years, they might get better at those procedures, so it might be wise to wait. So he finishes up by saying, what do you think is the best way to get a hairline like this, which is closer to a Norwood 1 is really what he's asking me here. He says, I'm not in a hurry, just wanted I wanted your take on the best move to make in the next 5 to 10 years. All right. End quote. There we go. So I will be very upfront in saying that I obviously am no expert on this. No one should listen to me at all. No one should actually watch this video. But if you're still watching this video and you still want to hear what I have to say, being the non-expert that I am, here's what I'm going to say. I think that Kusei's plan is legit. For what I have so much respect for him. You know me, the balding advocate. I'm like, hey, let's do this. Let's go bald. But I also am it doesn't matter whether you choose to go bald or you get a hair transplant. It doesn't matter what you choose to do as long as that's your identity and that's what makes you come to terms with who you are. So if he's thinking about going down this road of hair transplant, I fully endorse that for him. And I will say, remember back at age 21, age 22, I was planning on getting a hair transplant by the time this happened. Of course, even now, if I got hair transplant, I could still maybe get down to a 2, Norwood 2. But that's where I was in my early 20s. And then I stopped caring. Remember that video that no one's watched the video, but it talks about the girl from college that said there's no shame in going bald, and I believed her. This very pretty girl, and I thought, wow, these very pretty girls have balding dads. They know what to expect, but anyway, that helped me get through that, and I never thought about it again after that. But hey, if someone's asking about this whole concept about getting a hair transplant, and then I would fully endorse that because I want you to feel confident in who you are. So, with the hair transplant, based on what I've learned by making all these videos, I think that's a smart move to wait, because Kusei is at a very worst a Norwood 1.5 with no thinning. So waiting, it would be the smart move. Wait till you can save up more money, and money's, the older you get compared to your 20s, hopefully you'll have more money later on. I'm walking in sap, do you hear that? But then the other thing too is it hasn't actually gotten worse. So if he's asking me for a plan, when to get involved here, I would think, based on what I've read in all these comments on my own videos, that once you start to see that you are going past Norwood 2, then you might want to consider, okay, now I need to look into this. I need to start researching some more at this point. because I'm thinking of Joe McHale. Do you know who he is? I mean, he was like bad Norwood 4 thinning strip right here. And look at him now. He looks like, what, a Norwood 2? And he got a hair transplant. And it looks great, you know? For someone who wants to get a hair transplant, he's a prime example of I think, when it's done right. But I would say until you see that you're even progressing past a 2, if that's something you even want to do, then worry about it. Because some people might say, well, now's the time to act if I wanted a hair transplant. This is a perfect day for me to have my hairstyle this way, because it really helps show my hair at its worst. So that's it. That's my simple solution. Wait until you see signs that you're actually losing those boxed-in corners of a Norwood 2 before you even think about it. And like you said, by that point, maybe even prices will come down as technology improves. But right now, I've seen the picture. At worst, a Norwood 1.5. There's nothing to even consider at this point. There's no need for it yet. Wait until you are a Norwood 2.5 before you even consider it. Technology will improve, prices will drop, and you'll probably be making more money by that point in your life. And again, I know that my hair looks a lot worse this way, but that's part of the journey for me. I like to explore that. I like to see at its best, and I like to see it at its worst. So yeah, I know it looks bad. I know, that's the whole point.